wholeness, peace, health, and an abundance of resources in my Telegram channel. Join for free. Link is in the description. Enjoy the video. I'm gonna ask some questions and you tell me if it resonates. You tell me if the questions feel relevant at this time, and feel free to answer them. Do you feel like you never have enough, even when you do? Do you struggle differentiating whether you are leading or controlling? And can you tell the difference? Does giving to others sometimes feel like a loss? Is my voice really my voice, or is it based on someone else's rules? How can we share what we have and not being taken advantage of? When we are successful, does it feel lonely? Do you feel powerless in systems that claim to support you? If we let go of control, will everything fall apart? Do we have to carry everything on our shoulders? What if leadership is not our role? However, we can see that no one else is taking the responsibility. No one else is stepping up. And can we have real abundance without competing with each other? When we share power, everyone rises. When we hoard it, we all lose. Healing happens when we recognize that leadership is not about control, it's about being a channel for collective abundance. We need to shift from what is it in it for me? What am I gonna get out of this? And we need to shift into what can we become together? How can we mutate the species? How can we evolve further? Because that's what it's all about, right? Loving ourselves more and more so we evolve more and more. It's about the voice of the wandering wanderer, of awe, of wow, let me distract at least a bit of humanity from the collapsing world, and over here where we're enjoying the birthing world. Because every single time something is collapsing or dying, there's something somewhere that is being born. And it's up to us whether we are what are we focusing on. So I started singing today. And when I felt the shivers, I know what it is. I know what it is. You know what it is? It's your spirit family around you being like, yeah, give us more of this. Because those are the two polarities that you can feel from the energies which are not physical. You can either feel fear gripping you completely all over your body, and that's scarcity. That's, I don't have. I'm not valued. Am I enough? Am I doing enough? Is it all on me? And that's fear, that's contracted energy. It's your whole body tensing up and fearing down. And at that moment, you also have spiritual beings around you. And it's not good or bad. It's not good or evil. Because the universe is everything. And there are energies which favor scarcity, and there are energies that favor abundance. And it's a choice that all of us have, because everything serves a purpose in that sense. Angels have a purpose and demons have a purpose. And it's up to you who you want to have around you. Who do you want? What do you want to entertain? Because, like, what do you want to invite in your life? At that moment when I was singing, the shivers and the warm electricity, I knew that there were angels around me rejoicing because they were basking and indulging in this energy that I was putting out. And then they give you more of that. And then they point out more ways to get that. How can we heal some of these things that we're talking about? How do we heal some of these things that we're talking about? We need to redefine wealth. What is actual wealth? My actual wealth is I can walk again. I had 2 near-death experiences. When am I rich? I'm rich when the sun is out. I'm rich when I can move my legs. For the longest time, I wasn't sure if my next step is going to collapse or if my next step is actually going to be carrying me where it needs to carry me. After 6 months of slowly regaining myself, today was the first day that I kind of was able to let go of the control of each step and be kind of like, okay, the body knows what it needs. That's the thing that I lost. That's one of the things that I lost when I was bedridden, is that just of every single step. And today was the first day of me restructuring my body, regaining strength, that I didn't have to think about every step. That's how much the 10,000 steps a day, the 6 miles a day, uphill, downhill, the training, the swimming, everything. So what is wealth for us? So we need to realize that it's not always money. It's wisdom, time, connection, ideas, compassion. What do I have that can serve someone else today without depleting me? There's that saying that when you have a candle that is lit and you have 10 other candles that are not lit, that one candle that is lit can light the other 10 candles and not lose its flame. So what do we have that can serve someone else today without depleting us? What is it? Attention to get our voice. Always sort of pause and what I'm about to say, is it coming from fear or just pure intention of love? And that will translate into action. Who are the 2 to 3 people around you? Where it's normal to give to each other. Examine power dynamics. Where do we avoid conflict by shrinking? Or where do we present ourselves as dominant to avoid appearing vulnerable? How can we say no or yes without guilt? Meditation and stillness before any financial decision. Rebecca, I want to say no. Say no. You deserve it. Say enough is enough. I know when enough is enough. I've done enough. I am enough. When we present our love and it is not reciprocated, it doesn't mean that our love is not worth it. It just means that the other person is the wrong address for our package. We are at that moment the right package at the wrong address. It doesn't mean that our love is not valuable and worthy. It just means that the place is not the place for your grace. You need to find another space. If you're a leader, practice circular leadership. So try to flip it from a top-down thing to a circle and allow different voices in your group to say. So invite people who usually don't speak maybe so much, invite them to speak now to guide the process. Invite feedback from people who are below you, quote unquote below you. This is if you're a leader, if you are leading an organization or something of that sort. How do we transform scarcity? Well, whenever we say, I don't have enough, allow your mind to loosen the grip of what it actually means to have enough. Because what is abundance? Abundance is having the thing that you need at the exact time you need it in order to do the thing that you want to be doing or be in a place where you want to be at that moment. So it doesn't have to be money. What can it be? What if it's not there's not enough? Maybe it's there is enough, but it's not in the form that my mind wants it to be. Maybe it's an opportunity right next door. Right tomorrow somebody calls you up. Right tomorrow you find $200 in your old jacket from winter. Or what happens to me, I find 5 mulberry trees that I now climb every single day. I eat a bunch of them, and then I take a bag and I harvest. Like, look at my fingers. I harvest tons of mulberries and I make juice in the morning with mulberries, beetroot, ginger, lemon. It's like blueberries are like mostly expensive in most places in the world. Blueberries are expensive. Mulberries are even rarer. And there's tons of them. And then I'm like, okay, so abundance stuff, this abundance affirmations and this rewiring myself where I'm focusing on gratitude, focusing on what I actually have is my legs now. I have my legs again. I have my lungs again. I can swim now. 6 months ago, I was in intensive care. I couldn't lift my head up. So what do I have? The more I focused on the things that I have, the more mulberry trees just popped up. Like, look, you don't have to, you can just climb it. And it's a whole meal for today and another one for tomorrow. And just like, so another thing is get rid of media, social media and content that promotes fear and scarcity. And that's most of media. Is going to promote that there's not enough things for everybody. There's not enough space for everybody, not enough money for everybody, not enough food for everybody. If you just travel to places where there are fruit trees all around, like here, you would see that there's so much stuff being thrown away. Nature does not have lack. Nature never has lack. It's humans who invent lack and debt and whatever. Nature lacks nothing. There is enough things on the floor for everybody to eat. It's just about where is it? Where is it? So anyways, and then also media, there's a lot of media and content. So social media and regular media, it's going to pump fear and scarcity. Get away from that. listen to people like me saying, what is true abundance? What is true love? What is true self-love? You know, what are we rich? Where are we rich? Ask yourself, where am I rich? And look for that. Look for that. Where am I rich? And then affirm it. I am rich. Create open channels. So we really need to clarify our communication. Completely clarify communication, especially around money, plans, and expectations with other people. These are all energetic exchanges. They need to be clean. They need to be clean. Clean. These things need to be clean. Communication around money, plans, and expectations. Clean those up. Clean those up in your life. Say out loud what you used to keep silent, because hidden power becomes distorted. You crush yourself inside. Release control. Something that you were leading and responsible for, slowly step back. It's not all about you. And the fear here is, am I going to be irrelevant if I release control? Who resonates with this question? Am I going to be irrelevant if I'm not in control and if I'm not leading something? So the question is, are you fearing being irrelevant if you step off leadership roles, relationship role, responsibility roles? Are we gonna feel irrelevant if we are not the responsible ones for everything? Who resonates with this question? If any of this resonates, guys, feel free to send me messages. Drop a follow on my profile. There's a card in the chat. Find the profile, and there's a messaging option. You can always send a message, reach out, and we can talk in more depth about your situation. Yeah, so, and the last thing, we need to diversify who we are connected to. So amazingly, right now, you are diversifying, connecting to me, potentially. Think when it comes to abundance, outside of social boxes, cultural boxes that you might put your mind in, who you want to collaborate with, how does that person look like, that they're going to help you? How do regular therapists look? How do regular abundance coaches look? How do regular life coaches look like? How do regular anyone that can help you with anything, or friends, or relationships, or places where you would love to live in this life, or new opportunities in life? Let go of the control. So diversify the points of connection that you connect with. So curiosity is the opposite of trauma. Curiosity is the opposite of fear. When we shift our focus from having fearful and traumatized eyes to curious eyes, immediately the world is going to shift, and then everything is a potential door and not a threat. So think of everything as like, okay, this feels uncomfortable, this feels unknown, but maybe this unknown, uncomfortable feeling is actually dope, is actually excitement. So maybe it's not a threat, maybe it's the excitement of something new. Control is more about feeling safe. Yes and no. I agree and don't agree with this. I'm also a person that needs a great deal of security, a great deal of guarding my energy. So controlling my space, controlling my nest, my cave, my limitations. However, not trying to control other people and the outcomes and what they're saying and how I'm feeling next to them and the world and world events and strangers on the streets and their looks and people in our relationships and friendships? What are the things that we can control? And what are the things where we need to be brave and just step back and be like, all right, universe, what do you got for me? What do you got for me? What do you got for me, world? Just gonna lean back. Bruh, universe, bruh. I'm gonna lean back now. Just gonna lean back now. Just gonna lean back now and open my arms wide and lift my feet up. And I'm just gonna be, I'm just gonna take it all in. Just gonna take it all in. What do you got, man? What do you got, bruh? What do you got, bro? What do you got for me, universe? What do you got for me? Movement classes are awesome. You are awesome, Bex. You are awesome. That there are forces in this world that are beyond what we can understand. There are, you know how Earth births and sprouts flowers in order to attract specific bugs for specific reasons to balance out how many of what type of animal is there. In the same sense, we as humans, we are sprouts. We are sprouts from the universe, popping out from the earth. We are sprouts. And why did the earth sprout you where you popped out? Why did it do that? Do you think that the earth popped you out for no reason? For no value? Or was it like, we need an Alicia over there. We need a Rebecca over there. We need a Dennis over there. We need Marcy over there. We need Louisa over there. We need one of those over there. And not one of those. Not even one of those. Because there's not two of those in the world ever. There has never been anyone like you in the history of humans, of creatures, of life. And there will never be anyone exactly like you. This is how special you are. This is how much self-love you need to give yourself. This is how unique and individual every single person of every one of us is. Never before has it been a Fawn like you, a Rebecca like you, a Dennis like me, a Marcy like you, a Louisa like you, Alicia, Roland, everyone else. 36 of you. Nor there will ever be. Treat yourself like it. Say, I have. Not because you're boasting. I have this or that. Say, I have because you're grateful for what you have. And then say, I have my legs. I have my breath. I am grateful that my children are healthy. I'm grateful. Check the link in the description to find the website. Here you can find the link to join my free Telegram channel with a bunch of resources, insights, videos, PDFs, music, pictures, people. Then you got send email, inquiry, and connect via WhatsApp. These are all places and ways to get in touch with Ruth Lightheart. I create lines. There's a link to my free healing movement live class happening almost every day. Link to the YouTube channel. Then we got the introduction questions for everybody that is
invited and interested in working with me with my guidance services, coaching, mentoring, and therapy and support. Questions: who am I? Who is my guidance for? Who is my guidance not suited for? What do we use from modalities? What can be done? And how can individuals benefit? What can be done? How can relationships and marriages benefit, families and parenting, and then your beautiful children and their education and empowerment? There are 4 steps that I work with people. There's the free 15-minute discovery call. It's an initial contact to connect. There's a one-on-one 30-minute light in the dark clarity session. It's a fundamental session of human design. Then we got the 90-minute deep insightful session, one-on-one, individual, relationships, family, or tutoring the young ones. And then we got the clarity portal, which is 10 sessions of mentoring package for a full life revealing breakthrough, long-term mentoring, motivation, clarity for a complete transformation. You can read all the descriptions on the website, and you got send email inquiry buttons where if you feel drawn, you can send me an email, and then we will see if you fit, if you are ready, if we resonate. You can click here for testimonials. After that, you got the audio courses. The basic course is free. You got intermediate, advanced, the I Ching deep dive, the projector masterclass, elemental balancing, and then you got bundles of discounted courses. Also, I forgot to mention the Clarity Portal, the 10 session mentoring package. There are special discounts if you're a projector type. After that, there's a link to get my new book, Elementary, a wisdom-filled guide for life explorers, recently published. And then there's the submit email contact form. Input your name, email, and what is your inquiry. Click submit. Then you got my Instagram, my Patreon, my YouTube, and Telegram. That is it. Peace, health, abundance, wholeness, prosperity, grounding, balance, clarity, courage, connection, choice, communication, compassion.